Hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Fit Over 40 Challenge Show, the number one health and fitness show for the club. Yes, that's right, the 40 and Over Club. And I am Coach Dave. I'm going to be your coach. Got another edition of the Fit Over 40 Challenge Show, and super excited to bring you this today and talk about a resolution checkup. Now, I don't really ever set resolutions, but I do set goals. And I know some people do set resolutions, and we're getting close to that time of year where majority of people have already broken the resolutions. But let me just tell you, here's what success really looks like. Now, in case this is your first time listening, I am Coach Dave. I am a health and fitness coach. I coach both online and offline, meaning privately, in person. And I have a question for you today, though. Have you ever seen that meme that shows the path to success? I know we're on a podcast, so it's really hard to have me show you what I'm talking about, but you got to do some visualization here. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, but think about this. You start with at the lower corner, like say the lower left, and there's a squiggly, messy line. It kind of goes up and it kind of comes back down and it goes across and it goes up and it goes to that upper corner, which ultimately represents success. I think you know what I'm talking about. And here's the thing. This is the truth. Success is never a straight line. I'm going to repeat that. Success is never a straight line. We always want to think that point A to point B is that straight line. Well, when it comes to success in life and most things, it doesn't happen that way. There's going to be dips in the road. There's going to be peaks in the road. And there's going to be detours. And maybe even a few roadblocks that you have to either go through, go around, or come up with another plan. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my voice. We're going to keep going, though. This is too important. I can't stop. So, here's the thing. The good news is this. This is how we learn, and this is how we grow. Okay? Without this, we're never going to get the growth we need. You know, people ask all the time if I would, go back and start over. Knowing everything that I knew, would I go back and start over? And really, to be honest with you, the answer is no. And I'll tell you why. Because had I not learned the lessons that I learned, I wouldn't be who I am today. So if I'm taking all this knowledge that I have now and going back 20 years ago, starting back over, sure, I'd be more knowledgeable, but I don't know if I would probably make different mistakes, and I'd hope I'd make different mistakes that would make me grow into a better person. So if that's the case, then I would. But my point is, there's never a straight line to success. Everyone, if there was, everyone would be super successful in every areas of their lives. Okay? The point is, it's all about how you handle the bumps. It's what you decide after you get hit that matters. Now, see if I can remember this. They say, Mike Tyson always said something about, maybe it wasn't Mike Tyson, but some boxer, maybe it was Muhammad Ali, that everyone has a plan until they get hit. And then they're like, okay, what do I do now? So that's the key. It's those roadblocks, it's those setbacks, it's those bumps that you take that's going to make you grow, make you learn. Now, let me ask you another question. With that in mind, how are you doing on your New Year's resolutions, your intentions, and your goals so far? We are coming up to the close of February when I'm recording this podcast. And the question is, are you on track? Have you hit some snags? Have you had to do a complete U-turn? Now, if you're in the Facebook group, the allabouthealthandfitness.com, which takes you straight to the free Facebook group, love for you to share your thoughts on this and your experiences. I can tell you this for me, um, I have hit some bumps and some detours and almost done a complete U-turn, but I haven't yet. Started off really good first part of January. Went skiing at the end of January, 1st of February. Kind of got off track. Had to regroup when I got back. Now, coming closer towards the end of February, just getting back to where I think I was, towards the end of January, mid to end of January. But I've had my ups and downs. I've had my times where I've said to myself, man, I've blown it. Goodness, I was going to make 2020 my best year, and just being so hard on myself. And I got to remember that every day we just have another opportunity. Every day we have another choice. And listen, if you're a little off track, again, it's never too late to redirect your actions. Again, it doesn't even have to be the next day. It could be this moment. Whenever you're reading this, you can decide right now, I'm going to change. Now, again, we're all going to hit bumps and detours. It's a fact. It's never if, but when. Now, listen to this. It's according to a study that I read a couple years ago by Strava. Now, it says most people give up their New Year's resolutions by January 12th. This is February 22nd, February 20th when I'm recording this. And it says only a staggering 8% of people actually achieve their goals. Now, if that hits a little close to home and reaching your goals are truly important to you, then there is a way to change your approach. And that just might make a big difference. So, and let me tell you, it's going to be surprisingly liberating, all right? So what happens, what happens instead, if you focus on your big, long-term goal, okay, and let's say the example is I want to lose 50 pounds in 6 months. What happens if you focus on that, okay, and you just simply focus on what you need to do today to move forward, all right? So you've got that long-term goal. It's way out there, but all you have to do is one thing. Did you listen to the podcast that I did in January? And this is where I wish I would record and say episode numbers, because this is where I could point you back. But there's a podcast, January of 2020, that you need to go back and listen to. It talks about the one thing. It's the book I'm reading. And it's how to break things down to the one thing that's going to be the leading domino that's going to make the biggest change in your life. So let's say, for instance, you're having a hard time going to the gym. The one thing is pack your clothes or put them out on the dresser before you go to bed and put them where you're going to see them, and you get dressed in those clothes and you go work out. That could be the one thing. Now, again, don't worry about what you're going to do tomorrow, the next day, or the next week, okay? Again, instead of focusing on everything you need to do to drop that 50 pounds, again, we're just using this as an example. That might not be your goal. Just focus on the next meal, okay? Maybe you're listening to this in the morning. Maybe it's time that you have to do something about your breakfast, or maybe your lunch meal. Maybe when you're going out to work luncheons or something. Focus on that next meal, Focus in on skipping that drive-through. Don't go through the drive-through. Don't get that at Starbucks, okay? All you have to do is make a better choice and stop at the store, okay? If you didn't pack your lunch, maybe you need to go to the store and get a sandwich that's actually pre-made that's probably a little bit better than going to a fast food restaurant. Again, small little changes is all you need, okay? We make too many changes at once, and I think that's the problem that we face. Is we get these large goals and we have these great ambitions, and then we think we got to change everything. And what happens is it's too much, and it gets frustrating. And then when something doesn't go as planned, we're like, oh, see, it didn't work. No, all these factors can make it really hard for you to follow when you start putting too much stuff into it. And then again, we end up getting discouraged and we give up. Instead, focus on your next best decision. That's the one thing. What's your next best decision that will be game-changing for you? Again, if you need help with this, please reach out to me, okay? Now, are you still with me? Now, again, if you're in the Facebook group, love for you to comment and share where you're at with this, okay? I want us all to be able to help each other. Again, allabouthealthandfitness.com is that free Facebook group. Now, let's do something together right now. I want you to think about the goal you want to achieve. Now, I want you to do this with me, okay? Do you have your goal in mind? Now, again, you can't give me any sort of sign. We're on a podcast, but I want you to give me a virtual thumbs up, okay? Just give me that thumbs up. Now, if you're with me, let's take that goal and let's think about the very next thing you can do today to help you move closer to that goal. Again, we're coming back to that one thing. I can't help it to say this. And this is so coming into my daily ritual now. But what is that one thing? Again, share it in that Facebook group with us if you're there. Okay? I'm going to post this podcast in there. Again, if you're rocking and rolling with your goals this year, I mean, good job. Amazing job. Keep going. Virtual high five to you. Now remember, if you're not on track, remember your next decision is what matters most. That next decision. So remember, as we close this out here, the road to success is never a straight line. Okay? Now, if you need some accountability, that's why I created the Facebook group. I also do coaching online. If we don't live in the same area, reach out to me. Love to see if I couldn't help you out. Okay? Again, if you think that somebody else needs to hear this, share it with them. Okay? Give it a 5-star review. Give it a comment. Those help spread this message because maybe somebody today needs to hear the fact that it's okay that in the last month and a half, almost 2 months, that they blew it because they don't have to worry. It's all about the next decision. And that's where I want to leave you today. What is that next decision? Again, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you. Again, if there's somebody that needs to hear this, please just share it on your social media, share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, tag me. I'd love to hear your comments, love to hear your feedback. And again, it's that next decision. And so with that, my next decision is I'm going to go ahead and sign off until the next one. This is Coach Dave.